All right, let's get started. Please download Laboratory 6 from Blackboard and please use your Anaconda Navigator to open it. Use your Jupyter Lab. All right, so today we are going to learn algorithm building blocks. So first of all, you need to run the first script to identify your host name, username, and current information. And then please input your full name, a number, and title. Title could be lab 6, or you could write algorithm building blocks and today's date. All right. Please run the first script and fill the second cell here. All right. Yeah, so today we're going to learn how to build some algorithms in Python programming. All programs are made up of some fundamental patterns of control of flow. Actually, the most widely used is sequence, means one instruction after another. In the previous labs, we always use the sequence, right? We write, for example, we declare some lists, some variables, and then we use them to perform some operations, and then we print them. They are all instructions after another. But the second one would be a conditional or selection. It means a group of instructions may or may not be executed, depends on some condition. It means if or else if, right? So you see some group of instructions are located after the if statement, right? There are some indentations. It means only if the conditions are satisfied, then you need to perform these statements, or you won't execute these instructions. It's about the selection, right? And last one is very important. It's about loop or repetition. So we need to learn for statements or while statements in Python programming. It means a group of instructions repeated multiple times. Actually, in the next following 3 labs, we will learn how to build the blocks. In today's class, we learn how to use the sequence or some simple conditional blocks. But in the next one, we will continue learn conditional and begin to learn how to write loops. Okay, so let's practice for the first simple example. It's about story time 1. So, for example, Bob goes to the campus from home every day. He told Alice that he had 3 travel options to choose from. He can either walk, ride his bicycle, or take a bus. And Bob's choice depends on the time, what time he leaves his home. His first class is at 8 a.m. and if he has more than 30 minutes to class, when he will leave home, he will walk. But if he has less than 30 minutes, takes the bike. But sometimes he leaves his home even later. If he only has 15 minutes or less before the class, then he will take the bus. Okay, so it is we can consider it's like a story, but we can but if we can build some pseudocode or the Python programming, we need to determine what is the input, what is the output, and what is the procedure, or what is the sequence, right? So I just want to write this pseudocode to understand the problem, provide pseudocode to solve this problem. The first one, the input, right? So the input would be the time, right? The time he leaves his home, right? So it is the input. And what is the output? What is what is the result? The result would be the travel options, right? You select travel options. Yeah, so it is about the inputs and outputs. And you need to finish the procedure by yourself. Okay, so you need to list, maybe you can list as a numbered list. First, you need to determine, actually, you need to write from here, right? His class is at 8 a.m. And if he has more than 30 minutes till the class, it means if the time is earlier than 7:30, then he will choose to walk, right? Choose the first option. And if it is between 7:30 to 7:45, he will choose to ride his bike. And after that, the third choice would be if the time is after 7:30 and before 8, he will choose to take the bus. Okay, so it means it is a conditional selection. It is a conditional statement, right? So please finish it by yourself. Write the procedure here. You don't need to write the code. You only need to write the pseudocode or write the procedure. So, for example, like I said, so first you need to determine the time, and then depends on the time, choose one travel option. Okay, so because today there's no exercise, so please consider this one as your exercise. Okay, please finish this procedure by yourself, and I will continue to run some codes for you. For example, here is about arithmetic assignment operator. It's a typical example about the sequence blocks. Okay, so perform some arithmetic operation followed by an assignment. So first one, arithmetic assignment operator. It's very easy, right? When we learn the assignment operators, maybe in lab 2 or lab 3, we have already learned, right? So first, we define one variable named x, and then we do the we plus 2 and then assign it again. All right, you can write and then you see the result. Okay, so the first one would be, if you remember, it would be this one, right? And the second one would be it's about how to assign something x minus 2, and here is the same, right? So multiply 3, the result or the data type is the same. All right, and the last one here is about divided by 2. Okay, but the last one, as you see, is for the float number, because actually when you use this division operation, it will be a float number, even though the x is an integer and then 2 is an integer, but the result would be a float number. But if you use the float division, then the result would be an integer. Okay, there's a difference, but you don't need to try them. You only need to know them. Okay, so it's about the operator. All right, so any questions so far? All right, so next one is about it's also the same, but it's about different ways to define the variable types. Okay, so first one would be an integer, then the second one would be a float number, and then after that there are 3 string variables. But as you see here, you can use a single quotes or double quotes, then it will be considered as strings, right? And print out about me. But for now, we can discuss it in detail, because in lab 2 or lab 3, we don't know how to explain that, right? Because here, as you see, there's some backslash symbol, or there's like a slash strings here, right? So we learned one by one. The first one, print 1. The first line about the print is about me, right? and then print a string name, and then one space, right? And then comma will be converted to a space. Then you see there's double spaces here, right? And then my name, it will print out the value of my name, value and math and the kilometers, right? And after that, phone, the value of the phone, my cats. So if you want to print out this single quotes, you need to use the backslash and the single quotes. Then it will be considered as a symbol, not a single quote. Actually, here is the second one to like correspond to the first single quotes. It will be considered as a symbol, right? And the printout. Okay, so that's why here. So it means if you want to get this single quotes into a literature literal, then you need to use the backslash. All right. And later we will learn more about the more special symbols, and I will tell you then. All right. And next one about how to like concentrate the how to combine the strings together, right? So as you see, you can use a plus, then it will print them together into one string, right? And the last one, you see my name here. My name is a string, but it can be considered as a list. So because for now we have already learned about the list, right? So, and actually you can use the list. You can consider this strings as a list, and then the start index will be 0. It means the first element. It means the first character, right? And then 4 means the fifth. Index 4 means the fifth element, and then it is in the index. So if before it is the last character would be before the fifth element, then we will select the first 4 characters as here, as you see here is the TGEO, right? So as you see, if you want to set 6, then it will be first fix 6, right? If you leave the blank, then it is the same. If you leave the blank, it will be 0 defaultly, right? If you use the -1, it means the second last. It means the last one. So before the last one, it will be the this string other than the except the last symbol. All right. So if you leave them blank, so it means the last one defaultly. So yeah, so it's about how to slice a list or how to slice a string. You can use this way to slice some strings. All right. So any questions so far? So it's about the like two sequence blocks. And next one is about here you need to write one by one. So please careful, because our first structure is sequence. So here is about how to first we need to define, in this example, we need to define a short list, and it's from 0, 0.1. So they are all floats from 0.0 to 4.0, right? And after that, we want to compute a short list of their cubes. So by cubing each element in a list and placing them into another list, all right? So please make sure you run them one by one. If you forget to run one cell or another cell, then you will have some problems, okay? So please make sure to run them one by one, all right? So the first one we need to introduce a Euro cell to reset this notebook. It means in the previous labs, if you have some problems, I will suggest you to select interrupt or restart kernel, right? Interrupt or restart kernel. But in this way, you can use the reset and the dash and F. You can you can do a manual kernel restart to get the execution to restart at 1. Okay, so it means you can restart the kernel by running this cell. Let's try. You can run it. Okay, so after that you can do that. It will clear all the memory, clear all the definition of your variables, and then you can define them again and run them again. Okay. And let's get started. First, you need to create a list of flows, right? You can use the command / or you can just remove the hashtag, okay? And first, please run it. And after that, you see 10 and 11, right? It will be, you will consider, if you see they are like, this number is exactly the next one of this number. It means you write right next to this cell, right? And after that, you created a list of flows, and then do that again. So 12 means you need to create an empty list, and then set the position as -1. So, and after that, to do the increment position, you need to select number all, and then do that. So it means you do the position, you do the increment. It means for now, the position would be 0, and then the empty append. If you remember the append, it means you add some element to the end of this list, right? And you will end this number, right? So this number would be a list, and the position would be 0. 0 means the first element. It means you want to compute the cube. This is to the power of 3. It means the cube of the first element, and then calculate this result, and then append to the end of the B list. That's why. So as you see, right, and then it is 14, right? And after that, do it again. So for now, the position would be 1. And then it will append a list 1. It means the second element. It means the cube of 1 to the 2B list. All right. And for now, let's try it. You do need to do it by yourself. I want to show you for now what is in the B list. So before I run it, I will tell you there are 2 elements, right? The first one would be the cube of the first element of A list, and the second element would be the cube of the second element of A list. So there are 2 elements in B list, right? Right. You see? Okay. So I will cut them, and I will do that again, right? So it means it will add the third one, cube of third one, and do that again, the 4th element, and do that again, the 5th element, and after that, please print this B list. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Okay, I need to reset again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it is the result, right? So actually there are 5 elements, and each element is the cubes of each element in A list, right? First one 0, 0, 1, 2. The cube of 2 is 8, right? The cube of 3 is 27, and the cube of 4 is 64, right? So you are supposed to have the same result as mine. If your result is not correct, please double check the order of your running, the order of running your cells. Please make sure if you have a different result, you need to reset them again and run all of them again. Please make sure they are like 5. The increment would be 5 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times, then the result would be 5 element list. Okay, so any questions so far? So I will give you 1 minute. I will give you 1 minute so to finish it, and please make sure you have the same result with as mine. Okay. All right. Do you have any errors or different output, but you don't know what's the problem? Any other errors? Okay, sounds good. Okay, so what is your error? List is not defined. Okay, so then you forget to run this cell, or you need to make sure you are typing L in upper cases, not lower cases. I'm not sure you have the wrong name because it's it's very sensitive to the upper cases. So first, please check if you have already run this cell. If it is not defined, it means you didn't run this cell. You didn't define it. Okay, and then if you have defined it, but you still have the error, then please check if you have some wrong cases here. So maybe you write B, lower cases of L, B list. All right, please double check. I think it will work. Okay, so next one is about selection. So it's about the last example. Our next structure is about selection by this simple example. So a constant number will not be allowed to vote and attendance in his attendance or in his or her attendance at the council meeting is less than 75%. So first you need to use this Python programming to check if they have the person to check the result of the percentage of the meeting attended, right? So the first one, you need to input two numbers. The first number would be number of council meeting held, and then the second one would be the number of the meeting attended, right? And then you need to use the attended number to divided by the total number and multiply 100, and then compare it with 75, right? So the first one, you need to uncomment this one. It means council name. So into the council person name, so you can input any name, maybe Bob here, right? And next one, if you remember, we are using the input function, right? Input function, and here is the hint for users, and then use the int, the type casting function to convert these strings to an integer, right? So how many meetings? Maybe 80 meetings. You can input any numbers. And then after that, please double check here. How many meetings did this console name? Here's console name just you just defined, right? Attended, and then use that to promote string and do that again. So how many meetings did Bob attend? Then you can write any numbers. For example, maybe 53. Okay, so any numbers and press enter. And after that, please write to compute the attendance percentage, right? Meeting attended divided by total and multiply 100 and be a float number. And after that, you need to do the selection, okay? Do the selection, and please make sure to use the command and slash here. If the number is smaller than 75, then it will show this person name attended is not eligible to vote, and else it means greater than 75 or equals to 75, then it's eligible to vote, right? You can write, and then it is 66, so it's not greater than 75, so it's not eligible to vote. All right, right, again you can. And I will show you again. So it is the result. Please make sure to have the correct Python programming. Do that again. So for example, maybe Alice, and then write again to input the how many meetings in this meeting, maybe 10, 12, and do that again. Maybe 102, and the computer again, and after run again. So Alice attended 85%, so eligible to vote. All right, so it's about the how to do the selection. So you need to use the if statement, and then please make sure there is the indentation here, right? So indentation means that this group of this line is controlled by if statement. Only if this condition is satisfied, then we will perform this statement, or it will ignore this statement and continue to perform the statement under the else statement. Okay, so it's about the how to write the if statement. Yeah, so actually, yeah, it's the last example. If you want to learn more, you can read all the documents after that, and please make sure to run all the cells, show me the output, and please make sure that it is the only correct output. All right, so if you have some other output, it is wrong, and this one, the output is not determined because you need to input the number by yourself. All right, so but please make sure to show me show me this cell, and I will check this cell is correct or not. All right, and then please make sure to finish this procedure by yourself. It is the exercise today. All right, so yeah, all right, so that's all I want to share today. If you don't have any other questions, please feel free to leave. Have a nice day. And if you have errors or questions, you can stay here and we can discuss. Oh, okay, thank you guys. Confused how to, oh, sorry, how to do or write the procedures at the top. Yeah, actually, so I think this example is a little bit similar as the last example, right? So the procedure would be this one, right? So you need to check if the time is earlier than like 7:30, then print, or you can say it by you can say then Bob will choose to walk, and else if, or you can use the other way to show if the time is later than 7:30, then there are the two options. Okay, do you know what we should study for the quiz? Actually, all the problems of the quiz come from the lectures and the labs. I suggest you to go over the lectures and the labs again, and please make sure to understand all the codes from the lectures, all the concepts from the lectures, and all the codes from the labs. Then I think you will get the 4 marks. Yeah, so the quiz is not very hard. What does it mean by the title of the book? Oh, title of the book. The book. It doesn't matter. So you, for example, you can say it is Laboratory 6, or you can just copy. For example, you can name it as this one. All right. So you can name it as the algorithm building blocks. I think it's only used to like help you to review the blocks when you prepare for your quiz and exams. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? You show me the procedure to see I'm on the track. Okay, sure. I will stop sharing and I will stop recording and